Right, once you install Postman, you'll see a user interface like this one. So what I want you to do here is to start the application because we've added these methods right here. So post, put, and delete. So let's start the application. There we go, up and running, no issues. Now within Postman, let's go ahead and create a new request. So right here, what I'm going to do is click on this plus sign in here. And here you can see that we have by default a get request. So we can name this and we can save it. And basically this tool is actually quite cool because you can do lots of customization. But in here, what we're going to do is send a get request to local. So local host and then column port 8080 and send. So check this out. So this should be familiar, right? So you've seen this often and often and often. So this is the array of objects right here where we have the custom ID, one, and then to do. So let's test the post method that we've created. So here, and by the way, this was already there since the beginning, right? So this is the exact same thing that you see here. So it's the exact same thing, right? So in here with our browser, so with our web browser, we cannot test post, put, and delete methods. So here we can say post, and then this will be localhost 8080. And then to test our post, let's just send a request. And you can see that this was a bad request. So status and then 400. And I'm going to teach you about status codes in a second, but this is a bad request. And this is because, so in here, if I collapse this post method is expecting a JSON object of type customer. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to body, and then we're going to say raw. And if I put this smaller, so click on raw, and then instead of text, say JSON. And here we're going to send a JSON object, and this will be name, and then Mariam. And let's just say that we want to send password as well. So password and colon, and then this will be, let's say like some gibberish, right? And we could also send the ID. So comma ID, so within double quotes, and then ID is a number. So let's say 3. Now, if I send this request, we get an internal server error, so 500. And if I go back, I want to show you exactly what is happening. So here, if I scroll up, so no fallback setter field for creator property and then password. So what is happening is so basically it's for this post here. So here, if I go inside of customer, remember in here, we have this JSON ignore. So basically this is what is causing the issue. So to fix this, we're going to say that this, so we're going to annotate this with @ and then JSON property. And then inside, we're going to say access, and then the access will be write only. There we go. Now this will allow us to send a password, but not read a password from the client. So if I restart, there we go, up and running. And now let me send the exact same request, send, and you can see that this time it works and we have a status 200. And again, I'm going to teach you about status codes in a second. So if I go back to IntelliJ, you can see that we have post request and then the customer right here. So ID 3, name Mariam, password, and then this random password. So if I send the get request, and here I've got the tab open, I'm going to send this request, you can see that we never get the password, but we can send the password to our server. So the final thing that I want to teach you here before we test the other methods is, you see this JSON object right here. So if I close this and then go back to customer controller, so check this out. So request body, so this is what we send, right? So it's this payload right here. So that's the body. So body, we send this JSON object, and then this gets mapped into this customer. So ID, name, password, ID, name, oops, name and password. So there you have it. You now know how to send post requests to your server.